Alright, back again, Luke here. And what I wanted to do for this video here is just basically make a huge thank you video for all the support on the Amiga. I swear, in just that one video and all the comments there, I probably learned more about this Amiga than I ever could have done just doing research on the internet. It's fantastic. It's like, whoa, okay, this is an Amiga community. Bam! Everybody's jumping in there, so it was pretty awesome. You know, to be honest, when I put up the video, I mean, even when I got the machine, I had mentioned that I know absolutely nothing about the Amiga. I think that's probably just the best way to go about doing it. Sometimes you'll find people say like, oh yeah, I know everything about everything, and then you're just like, oh yeah, so what about this dude? And they're like, wait a minute, let me get online, let me check Google, alright, yep, okay, here's your answer, you know? But, yeah, if I don't know something, I'll just say I don't know it, and I didn't know anything about this machine, so it was really cool to find out all the different parts to it. And, you know, going through the comments, like, people were going like, plug it into the second controller port, you know? I didn't know, I had no clue. I mean, if you look at the back of the machine, it says, like, joystick 1 and joystick 2, and you're like, okay, that means player 1 and player 2, at least it does for every other console that I've, you know, had. So, I just figured, okay, why would I plug it into player number 2? It just didn't make sense at the time, but thinking about how one had to be kind of prioritized to the mouse, and then the other one was used for the joystick, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, didn't have any clue on it, so sorry guys. I know you were probably going nuts there throughout the video, but at least there was a little bit of BGM music in the background, so you could kind of listen to that. That Turrican music was awesome. I was just totally shocked by it. This is just a fantastic machine. It's just mind-blowing. And a lot of the German viewers too saying how the composer and stuff was German, so that's pretty cool information. I mean, this system seems to have not only like a huge following, but just a lot of history and a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with it, so I'm kind of learning very slowly and learning through trial and error. But the disk drive itself, that one is something that I tried to repair. Through the comments, some people had mentioned trying to readjust it or clean it up a little bit. That is something that I tried to fix up. And normally I don't have too much trouble with disk drives. I mean, I've fixed the disk drives for the X68000s, the PC8801s, Famicom Disk System, the MSX disk drives. I've been pretty lucky with a lot of the drives. Haven't really had too much of a problem with them, but this one here, I think it's a bit shot. You know, maybe it's on its last legs. The system itself has probably had a little bit of a, you know, a rough life, but I mean, it's definitely been used a lot, which means that it's an awesome machine. You know, it's like the ones where you find that are brand new, still with like no dust on them at all, and you're just like, huh, what's wrong with that one, you know? But the ones that are, you know, discolored, chipped, a little bit worn, you can see the letters are worn off of a keyboard or something like that, you're like, that was used. That was definitely used, so. But yeah, so I know now that the joystick goes into controller port 2, and I'll need to get a mouse for controller port 1. And really cool information that I learned about these high density discs, or the double density ones, and how the disk drive doesn't read them, or it's not necessarily supposed to read them. But this, I believe when I got this, somebody else had made mention of it, that it was a Amiga 500 board that was inside a 500 plus case. So the main reason for that was when I got it, the guy Mooney that I got it from, he said that the board was dead when in this machine originally, so he got a replacement board, he popped that in there, and was able to get it running, so that's the story behind that. So yeah, I'm not too sure. There sounds like a lot of cool things, especially people talking about with the, was it the hard drive that you can put in it, or SD cards, the compact flash cards and stuff. Sounds like a, you know, it sounds like a possibility, something that I might have to do in the future. Because like, as other people had mentioned, the Amiga discs, as well as the other discs for all these other different machines and systems, they will eventually disappear. There won't be anything left except for the copies. So yeah, I probably have to find some way to do that. Definitely going to have to do it probably eventually with the X68000s. That's another big one, but yeah, I don't know. Just kind of exploring all the possibilities with this thing. I wasn't sure how to reset this thing, so it was kind of cool to find out now. I guess it's, what is it, Control and both of the A buttons, I think, at the same time as a soft reset. And Yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast of a machine, but it just puts out so much power. It's such a powerhouse. I'm just so shocked by it. When I first heard that music for Turrican 2, I'm gonna go back to it because it was cool, and I just can't stop thinking about it because it's the only game that it will play, or it would play even after that video was made. It wouldn't play anything else, so I'm just like, Arr. But yeah, as soon as that started up, I was just like, whoa, okay, now we're talking with, you know, this is some really awesome hardware that I want to try and play. But obviously, when I had the controller plugged into controller port 1 and it needed to go into 2, that's probably a big reason why I couldn't do it. So next time we'll try and get this running. But yeah, so hopefully in the future here we'll be able to get this thing going again, and we'll see what happens. Might have to try and pick up another 15 kilohertz monitor around here. I think a couple of people, I think Synergy was one of the ones who had recommended it, as well as a couple other people, the CGA to VGA converter. And that works really well. It's something that I tried first with this machine. It works really well with the Neo Geos. It works well with even some arcade boards or using a Super Gun. It does not like the Amiga. I plugged it in there, and you know, you get a garbled screen, and it locks up. It just cannot stay with it. So unfortunately, that didn't work for the Amiga. At least it didn't work for me. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with this CGA to VGA converter. They're not exactly built the best, but yeah, it didn't work out. So I used the old monitor here for the Blast City. It wasn't supposed to be a kind of long-term thing. It was just going to be a temporary thing, but yeah, who knows? I mean, you might see me doing some gaming. Maybe I'll whip up a control panel or something and find some way to change around some parts, and yeah, use the Blast City here for some gaming on the Amiga. I'm sure somebody's already invented that. I mean, they have like the Sega like Genesis one, they have the Super Nintendo one, they have all these other ones, you know, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. They must have an Amiga, I can only imagine, wired up to an arcade machine, but that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, that's the total business going on here with the Amiga. Hopefully we'll be able to get that running, but huge thanks to everybody who had all those ideas, you know, and suggestions about the machine itself and what it was actually made up of, and why is it displaying this and why is it displaying that. And then it was funny to see like some of the Amiga guys going like, wait a minute dude, no, it's not like 720, it's like 800, and they're like, oh whoa, wait a minute, oh you're right. You know, it's just like, hey, it's cool to see you here, no, it's cool to see you here, and like, Amigas bring us together, you know. So it's you know, pretty awesome community going on there. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of rambling and blabbing and all that good stuff here, but just want to say a huge thanks to everyone for all the help on this machine, and eventually I'd like to get a chance to do some more gameplay on it and keep this somewhere where I can have easy access to it. I mean, it's a big machine, and unfortunately, looking at the space here, there's not a whole lot of space that I can use to put some of these bigger machines, but maybe we can find something, be able to put it out and use it a little bit more often than what I've been using it now that it works. So yeah, other than that, maybe some more gameplay videos, maybe some random, just me sitting in front of the TV playing something, maybe new gen games or some older games, yeah, just doing some talking, or might be doing some arcade stuff. I still have the Pole Position 2 board here that I pulled out, and I need to go ahead and try and wire up an amp for it, which I know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to wire up a sound amp for it, get the speakers all wired up, and then after that we'll go ahead and try and wire up the steering wheel, test out the steering wheel, try and make a steering wheel case for it. That way the steering wheel is not like, you know, you're not like holding it in your hand like this. It's not going to work out so well, especially with it being as heavy as it is. I have a couple other boards too that I haven't even put up videos on that maybe some people would be interested in. But we'll have to wait and see and kind of go from there. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching. And as some people had requested, some people wanted to see the old games going in the background, and as you can see, we've got the old Famicom station there that's going, and up here in the top we've got Gunhead playing on the Pioneer laser active player. Both the sounds are turned down. Didn't want to make it too irritating for people. I know that it's kind of like a double-edged sword. For some people, the background monitors are very, very distracting. For some people, they like to see them, so you can never win, but hopefully this one was alright. You guys can get a little bit of a look and kind of, you know, chill out a little bit, check out the background graphics, and yeah, but that's all. Thanks again, guys.